Hey, good morning, everybody. Hope you had a nice weekend. It's Rory Powers, Right Line Trading. And let me just very quickly mention that I am not a licensed financial advisor. This broadcast is for demonstration and educational purposes only. If you're not familiar with the risks associated with trading, please consult with a licensed financial advisor. Thank you. This signal A on the 30 range is setting up nice. We're just 1 minute into the open. And if today is your first day joining us, the AI Auto Trader is a fully automated system. It does come with chart templates with some really great indicators. So if you wanted to trade it on a discretionary basis, you most certainly could. But once the strategies are enabled, the system will execute and manage the trades on your behalf. We're currently trading all of the futures index equities, the NASDAQ, E-mini, Dow, and the Russell. And we've also added gold and crude oil into the mix. For prop traders, we have a great set of templates that are specifically designed to pass the evaluations. We call them our one-day pass or ODPs. And I like to look at the winning percentage of each one. A lot of people ask, hey, how do you decide which ones to trade? And let me bring up my notepad. Sorry about that. Now, from July 1st to July 12th, the RTY was hot. I saw it took a loser this morning. But prior to this morning, it was red hot. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start it over to see if we can get into another trade. Because we're still within... No, actually, our window just ended. That one runs, I believe, between 8:30 and 9:30. It did pull in a loser this morning, so this 85% is going to come down just a little bit. But the RTY was the hottest, and then I went down in percentage profitable, the YM being next, E-mini, NASDAQ, crude oil, and the 30 range. Got very low volume, I'm noticing. We also have templates designed specifically for funded accounts. Once you pass the evaluation, well, we want to get payouts. That's our number one goal, right? Hey, good morning, Scott. So we do have some templates. Scott had a tremendous amount of success last week, and so did I, using that NQ50000 PA account template. And I just want you to know it could be used for any size account. If you have a bigger than a 50,000, instead of trading 2 contracts, you could certainly trade 3, 4, 5. You know, really the sky's the limit. With a PA account, we like to be conservative. We want to keep in mind the 30% rule, the consistency rule. And we don't want to take any huge drawdowns. With this very low trading environment, it was kind of very much out of the ordinary weekend with the attempted assassination on former President Trump. You know, I really don't get into politics much. As traders, we are what's the correct terminology? We're just trying to make money out of the market, and politics isn't really part of our conversation much, only as it relates to trading. But, wow, he dodged a bullet. Literally. I give, listen, a lot of credit to God. God had his hand in that one. Amen. But it was a weekend that really, I think everybody's attention kind of got drawn away, and it kind of sucked up all the oxygen in the news over the weekend. Let me pull up Forex Factory so we don't get caught off guard here. So I don't get caught off guard. But the volume on the E-mini is very good. On the NASDAQ, I'm kind of doing a double take, making sure I'm on the correct contract month. That's how low the volume is.
Order submitted.
10:30, no, at 8:30 this morning was the manufacturing index. And then 12 noon, that's why Powell speaks at 12 noon. Man, this guy's, he's been speaking a lot lately. So the ES, man, that took a beautiful reversal to the upside. I'm a little surprised we're not in that long position. Or maybe we are. Let's take a closer look. We're not. We are in a short position on gold. So let's take a look at this trade here. I added a MACD to my chart just to compare it to the Laguerre. You can see my Laguerre cross through my 80%. The Laguerre is this purple line, and that's what triggered that entry. We had a big shift in momentum. If we take a look at the big picture of gold, it looks like it ran up pretty nicely since the British Open. We'll keep an eye on that gold trade. Well, knowing that Jerome Powell is going to be speaking, always very cautious when the Fed has some type of meeting scheduled, some public statement. The market tends to be very choppy. Then once he says what he has to say, the market, finds a direction. So extremely low volume on the NASDAQ. It's not a trading environment that we want to attempt. You can see on the bottom right of my charts, we were at 200 contracts a minute.
Order submitted.
The ES is pushing up. Our VWAP is this purple line here. And it looks like the open, we got a pop on the E-mini. So we got Powell at noon, and this morning at 8:30, the manufacturing index came out. Powell is opening the key week of Fed speak as rate cut case develops. Man, I'll tell you, when they do finally cut the interest rates, fireworks are going to go off. It'll be like the 4th of July. Gold is starting to give us a short roll a little bit. And the gold uses a very, very tight stop. We don't risk a lot in these trades. But we have an ambitious profit target and a trailing stop. Good morning, Dr. Hansen. Moshe, good morning. Welcome. Today's Moshe's first day. Yeah, I saw some good ones too, Scott. Now the MACD just crossed on gold. You can see down here on my oscillator, that blue line just crossed through the red. The Laguerre had us in earlier on this entry. I don't think I can remember a time that the NASDAQ traded with such low volume on a Monday morning. So we're going to have to look elsewhere for now. Okay, welcome, man. We're in this nice gold trade. Let's see how this pans out. Things are a little quiet this morning. At 10:30 a.m. is when our PA account template kicks in. Taking some heat on this gold trade. It's pretty much kissing our stop. All right, so it came back on us. We got our Russell. Let's see what the NASDAQ did overnight. Wow, that's weird. Okay, here it is.
Order submitted.
Oh, it's flat. Oh, man, is that choppy. Popped up at midnight. Now these little green crosses, this is when the system lined up, the conditions were met for a trade, but it was not within our trading hours. But it gave us some really nice long entries looking back in overnight. Here comes the reversal on the E-mini. That's what we look for during this morning hour, this first hour of the market open. We look for that ES to make a big reversal. And we have our signal A on the E-mini. It's coming right into the VWAP. But there's really good volume on the S&P. We're at 6,000, 6,100. And our haymaker strategy didn't bite. That's usually an entry the haymaker will take. Crude oil is in. Let's take a look at crude. Crude got into a counter trend trade here. Well, the cross on the MACD was a perfect signal on this one. We're looking at a 10 range chart here on crude. Crude wants to continue to the downside. It's trading at 81.66 a barrel. It's a bit oversold right now.
Order submitted.
I have three oscillators actually. We have our exponential oscillator, we have a MACD, and we have a Laguerre on the chart. What I really would like to see here is a pull back to the 50 and a continuation down. I'm a little nervous getting into this trade on such an oversold distance from our MA diff, which is our distance from the 50 to price. It's pretty high. Now we're getting this retracement. Really good volume. Wow, did you see that? 2,000 contracts a minute. So I do have the trade copier that I have. And I like the volume on crude. You know, I just noticed my Apex accounts aren't on here.
Order submitted.
Oh, that's weird. Let me open up my Rhythmic real quick. Hey, good morning, Dan. Yeah, I'm showing in Rhythmic Trader Pro. They are showing. Here goes crude. Let's watch this crude move here to the downside. Okay, now they're showing up. They do have a red light next to them. Hey, good morning, Isaiah. Wow, I gotta say, this is a little like watching paint dry. The best thing to do really is just sit on your hands. I don't see anything to trade. I was listening to David Wise. He said, most traders, when they're in front of the charts, they think they have to take a trade, and it's kind of true. He said, don't take a trade unless everything is, you think you're going to make some money, and everything is lining up and meets the rules and the conditions. The only thing moving kind of nicely this morning is the ES. Is huge volume on the ES. It looks like it's trying to break through this VWAP. RTY's back in. ES is right into that VWAP. Let's take a look at the RTY trade. Yeah, good. It is long this time. So we're in a signal B long. Good one, Rao. Congrats.
Order submitted.
Ooh, crude oil went short again, went long again. Now here goes the Russell. Once I get some room, what I like to do is I like to pin my stop on my 50. And the way I do that is once I'm up to 230 or 240, I'll right click on my stop and I'll attach it to my modified fast. And that's my 15 EMA. I don't think it attached. If you have another stop strategy in the parameters of the strategy, see if we can make this visible. Oh, it is attached. Now we're looking for it to come into our profit window at this point. Now, there's nothing to prevent me from sliding my stop up either. Since we like to get the data, I'm not going to do it. But if you were the trader, you could certainly drag this up and squeeze it right now. Coming up into this area of resistance, it's a good time to take profits. Bam, boom. It just went in our window. Once it goes in our window, it squeezes it. So it took that nice long entry and caught that move up. Let's check out the crude long trade. My chart's a little busy. Too many oscillators for me. So I'm just going to take off this exponential oscillator. Pivot is fine zone. That was a very risky trade going long on crude right there. A counter trend trade. Now we can prevent the system from taking those entries. One of the conditions is our 50 signal. With the 50 signal it would prevent a long trade when our 50 is red. It would skip that entry and wait for the pullback up to the retracement, to the 50. My RSI line is already pinned to the top, and then it would take the short roll. I really like this trade on the short roll. This is kind of what I was waiting on. On the longer time frame? Yeah, I would say so, yeah. This is crude on the longer time frame. At that big move down. Congratulations, Rao. Was that on gold? You got that trade on gold? You hit the ODP on the NQ 2-minute? I mean, I don't think I got that trade. Gold and the Russell are up marginally. Ooh, look at this move up on crude. Man, did I call that one wrong? It's coming all the way back up to the 50. Let's see if it breaks through the 50. This is the short roll that I was looking for on crude. So I see on my trade copier here that my PA accounts are all red, but they are active in Rhythmic Trader Pro, all of them. I might need to close those and start over. I think that's what I'll do. To get a one of my trade copiers, just going to go to chart, select the ES with no template. This trade copier actually builds on a chart. And I'm going to put it on 10 days on a daily time frame. And once my chart comes up, then I'm going to load this indicator, this duplicate account actions, and click OK. And then voila. Just not seeing the PA accounts, which is really weird. All right, I'll have to get that sorted out later. Powell is speaking at 12 noon today. We're still in that position on crude on the signal A bot. The signal A bot is the one that's leveraging the benefit of the AI component that adjusts our stop and profit targets.
Order submitted.
Let's check out the Russell. Russell. Might as well come over here. The Nasdaq's dead so far. So I attached my stop to the 50. I'm up about 250 on the trade, and I just don't want it to come all the way back. So I pinned the stop to my 15 EMA. So now it's considered a momentum-based trailing stop. The 15 is a really good assessment of momentum. Here comes the signal A on the crude oil. This was the trade I was waiting on. I can't find my PA account on my trade copier. What I could do, though, is I could build a new strategy. And I would select in my available list. What I did was under my control center, I went to my strategies tab. And I right-clicked and selected New Strategy, and now I'm going to select the AI Auto Trader P. Come down to the bottom right. Let me move this over a little. And load my CL signal A. And I'm going to scroll down, make sure I'm in my trading hours. Yep. And now I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to put it on CL futures, and I'm going to put it on my PA account. It's not showing up in Ninja. That is the weirdest thing. Maybe it's what that could be is I could have because I saw my live account. I could be in global simulation mode, but I'm not. I think I would have to restart Ninja, and I just don't want to do that right now. The issue that I'm having is my Apex accounts are not showing up in my Ninja Trader. Oh, it's my connection. Over the weekend, this is my Continuum connection. Now it makes sense. Okay, so let's hurry up and try to get into this crude trade. Now my accounts will show up. Now I can use once that green light comes on, I'm going to try to get at this signal A entry on crude. They were doing work on the Rhythmic server with Apex over the weekend, and it disconnected, I see. Let me reset this. Now they're all showing. All right, so now I can make my CL AI the drone by double clicking here, and then I can add my Apex account, my PA account, by just left clicking on here, and then I would lock it and put it on. So now the Signal A drone is my leader account, and I can copy it into an unlimited number of other accounts. So I'm going to try and get into a short entry here on crude oil. Gold is trying to break through this area of resistance. If it breaks, a signal B would be the way to go. And I say signal B because my Laguerre is locked. Right here is locked. And it just broke through, and they're pushing the price of gold up. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new window. I'm going to duplicate it in a new tab, and then quickly turn it off here. And I'm going to change. I'm going to go for a gold signal B. So I'm going to unlock this, and I'm going to find my gold signal B entry. Put it on my PA account 6. Five and 6. Let me see what the trading hours are for gold signal B. Doesn't start till 11. Shoot. It's actually outside of its window, unfortunately. So in order for me to get into that trade, I would need to adjust my trading hours. We should have got an entry on this. Really surprised we're not in short on crude. But that was a beautiful entry signal. I'm really tight to my 50. My 15 is below. I'm not saying it's going to succeed, but I like the setup. They don't all win. Oh, trade of 8 is down. I didn't know that. 50K account bot is loaded and ready. All right. I hope so, Scott. Well, listen, don't force any trades here. We're in an environment that's very low volume here, and you might want to wait until after Jerome Powell speaks at 12 noon. Jerome Powell's coming on at 12. I'm trying to get into crude and gold. It looks like gold is pushing up higher. Rao got a 50,000 account passed, and crude is slowly coming down. We're in no positions. My strategies are enabled. So the system is being very conservative today, as you can see. If I bring over my leaderboard, I have a few strategies on gold, one on the E-mini and Russell, that have a very marginal, very nominal gain. I'm tempted to manually execute this crude oil trade. I just love the setup. It retraced all the way back to the 50. Pretty decent volume for crude. Let's move it over here. The NASDAQ is just asleep. Just really like that crude trade. Prime time? Great job, Ethan. See if I'm in that prime time. Nope. I didn't get the trade. My heart is broken on this crude oil trade, I got to tell you. Watch for that signal B. The signal B on the ES up here kicks in about the time Jerome Powell is going to talk. And once it finds a direction, that signal B on the ES this afternoon, this broadcast will be over. But keep an eye on it. Let's bring over another chart. Let's bring over the prime time and take a look. That's my NQ8U. I think it's this chart here. Let's see if we can get into this gold trade. Oh, we got resistance right above it. I didn't see that, Rao. Rao's looking for the MACD crossover. You can see we got it right here at 947. And gold took off to the upside. On our Laguerre, we got locked long right where this cross is. So I'm a little late to the party on that. The YM is in. Let's take a look at the Dow. It looks like I've got the Dow. Oh, here's my prime time. This is the prime time chart. Even for Unorenco bars, it's choppy. Unorenco really smooths out the charts, but you can see here from 8:55 to 9:30, the Unorenco has static. Here it is. It's closed now. Moshe, if you go to your accounts tab on your control center, that would be one place. You can also go to your NinjaTrader Control Center and go to New and go to Trade Performance. And this would pop up. That's my strategy analyzer. Okay. This is going to pop up. And this trade performance is really a great tool. This is really how we decide which one of the strategies that we want to trade. We look at it historically. I always like to look at the what have you done for me lately. So the month of July, I can look and I can see my ES on the signal B on the bot. I'm up 787. So my signal B is doing pretty. That's the signal A. So I know that one's doing well. So that one would come to the top of my radar. So when you place your order and you order the AI Auto Trader, it's when we set it up. We set up a separate SIM account for each one of the bots. And the reason we do that is so we can use this trade performance tool to get a historical performance of each individual bot. I was showing over on the webinar, my 2-minute signal A bot right now is at 31.37 for the month of July. Looks like it pulled in a loser today. But this is where you would, okay, no, now it's up to 53.38. So my 2-minute signal A has been a really hot strategy. So what I do normally is I'll go through them all, and I'll find my 2 or 3 top strategies for the month. And those are the ones that I'll focus on. I'm only going to put the ones that are performing the best in my live or funded account. And this trade performance tool that NinjaTrader has, well, you know, numbers can't lie. And all of our decisions are based on the data. Crude oil just reversed. And let's come back to the NASDAQ. There is a chance I could be in on this trade. Let me just check. No. Okay, let me turn it off. Could get a MACD crossover again on gold to the short side. What do you think, Rao? You like gold short here on this crossover or no? I know, Scott. That's really the safe thing to do. I always say, listen, err on the side of caution. And we know Jerome Powell's coming out at noon. We know the volume is really lousy right now. Let's look at the NQ. It's got 2,200 contracts a minute now, so volume has spiked, but it's still just completely flat. Volume has considerably gone up. I have a loss limit of about $400 or $500 for the session, so I really like to take my best shot for the day on 2 or 3 entries. And I think it's safe to say that that maybe waiting until after Jerome Powell speaks is the most logical decision to make. So I'm just going to disable both of my PA accounts. I'm actually in a trade on number 5 on gold. Oh, Lord.
Order submitted.
Well, I was in a gold position on the PA account that I didn't even know I was in. So it must have taken that signal B. I'm really curious where it executed the trade. I don't see any execution plotted. This is the craziest thing. Let me see if I have text to marker on here. Listen, I'll take the $70. I just want to know what happened.
Order submitted.
I think that's a good idea. Did somebody ask about the oh, you used the volume chart. I think I had built one between 3 and 500 ticks per a 3 to 500 tick chart. Really nice volume now on the NASDAQ. Maybe it will give us an opportunity here. You never stick to one chart. You're fickle. 3,000 contracts a minute, so we're getting a lot of volume to the upside, a lot of buying in the NASDAQ right now. Never seen it move like this. It's kind of moving like the E-mini. It is pushing up, though. He is, Marcia. Rao is just an incredible trader. Excuse me. Excuse me for one moment. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect one of these data feeds. I think that's what my problem is. I have the NinjaTrader, when you have two feeds connected, one is always going to be the primary.
Order submitted.
Now my rhythmic is the primary. I think that's where I'm running into a problem. Now I'm not getting any. Yeah, I am getting data. Not on the NASDAQ. There it goes. Something's a little off here. Okay, sorry about that. There it goes. That one chart was freezing me up, was the problem. Wow. Are your charts doing what mine are right now? Or was it because I just closed that chart? Yeah, it's catching up now. You see what it was? I had a chart that was open in the background. No wonder. It's reloading the historical data now. I'm wondering, what's with the NASDAQ? It wasn't moving. Well, she's moving now. I think I just sorted out my problem. Oops. Okay, now we're moving. Now we're rolling. Now we are in business. I'm going to make a 30 range haymaker, signal B, and trade it on one of these. And I'm also going to do a signal A.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
We get a retracement right to the 50 here and a continuation up on that signal A 30 range. See if we can come down tight to the 50. No, Ethan. You might be having an issue with, like I had. Check to see if the right edge of your chart is at the right time first. I noticed when I closed out that I had a chart here in the background running with something a little different that I was looking at that was frozen. The signal B, if this thing pushes right up to that area of resistance, I'm going to be ready with a signal B here on the NASDAQ. Let's see if I can get a trade in. I'm looking for the LIQUIDITY to lock to the upside and push up right up to that line of that area of resistance. Bounced off the 15, and now it's continuing up. This closed loop strategy is way too aggressive.
Order submitted.
All right, we're in our 10:30 window. We kind of define this window here, this 10:30 to about 11:30, 12 o'clock. Things kind of, when Jerome Powell's not talking, things kind of settle down and the market kind of starts moving nice and gives us some good trading opportunities. What we use on our PA account, our PA $50,000 account, is the 30 range on the NASDAQ. So I'm focusing right now on this chart right here. Once my LIQUIDITY is locked, it's going to pop into a long trade if it continues up, and it'll put us into that position long.
Order submitted.
Like it just did. So now we're in this trade here to the long side. Let's see if we can get some follow through. I've got a 50 tick trailing stop. Giving us some heat. Come on back up. Boy, it came dangerously close to my stop. Push on up now. Nice. Come on up. Some follow through to the upside here. Volume isn't the greatest. We do have over 1,000 contracts a minute. See if that's enough to push us up through the top. Come on now. Get up there. There we go. Come on, push up now. Our Laguerre is still locked long. If you look at the RSI line of my oscillator, it kind of want to give it a little more room, but all right, we took a very small loser. My trade copier worked perfectly. I took an $80 loss on that trade. The entry that we really love to take on this, we see our 2-minute up here is trending to the upside. So we have confirmation on our higher time frame that we're set up long for a long entry. So ideally on my 30 range, I'd love it to retrace all the way back down to my 50. My RSI line come into this red area down through the 20 and then continue up. And that's really the trade that our PA account takes. So I'm going to go to our signal A entry and lock her up. It didn't retrace far enough. And we're going to keep an eye on our leaderboard here just to see what comes up over the radar. We're looking for a ticker that the institutions are manipulating the price. I don't see anything standing out. Everything is very flat. So just going to try to time an entry here on my 30 range to the long side. It does seem to be pushing higher at the moment. I'll take a look at the stock market. Here we go with the signal B. Really wanted to see a signal A entry here. Signal A entry is looking at the Laguerre. Here we go. Maybe we'll get a pullback now. We don't have much room here to the upside, do we? Really need a pullback. This is my 2-minute chart up at the top. 30 ranges here. Both looking at the NASDAQ.
Order submitted.
The action has been kind of slow today with Jerome Powell coming out at 12. We kind of just been sitting on our hands. The Dow Diamond's back in. Looks like the Dow's getting some play. Somebody was telling me on the phone over the weekend, excuse me, sorry about that. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. Somebody was telling me over the weekend, hey, go watch for long trades on the Dow. All right, so we're locked up long for the signal B. Let's see if we can get a break. It's just the problem with this signal B entry is we've got upside resistance. We don't have a lot of running room here. TNG. Welcome from France. Oui, oui. I was wondering where you were, sir.
Order submitted.
I got some buying pressure on the NASDAQ. Just a whole lot of resistance above us. Come on down. I'd love to see a retracement back to the 50 and a continuation long. The Dow to the moon. I will, Raul. You're really a great guy. I saw your comment on YouTube too. I will tell him. Okay, this might be the retracement we were looking for. I'm going to get ready with my signal A. Let's see if we can get into this bounce. I know we have resistance to the upside. Let's change this to a signal A. It might prevent our entry, but we'll give it a try. Let me take a quick look at the stock market. David Wise just sent out a trade alert on HUT. He's buying calls. I'd love to stay live for this afternoon. I probably should have scheduled this for after Powell. You know, hindsight's always 20/20. Okay, we're set up now for a 30 range. My Laguerre, if you look at my Laguerre oscillator, my RSI line is this purple-pink line. And my signal A strategy will go long when it breaks up out of that, over that 20% line, where it just did. However, one of the conditions, there's a but, one of the conditions is we must be clear of an area of support or resistance by at least 60 ticks. And you can see that I have this upside resistance. The software really defines risk really well. There's some indicators that unfortunately you can't see on my chart because of the background images. But we have an indicator that looks at a multi-time frame assessment of trend. It's called our background bias. And when that background bias is green, which I'm sure it is now, it's telling us that on the higher time frame, that it's also trending up. The only problem is this upside resistance. So it put a damper on our signal A entry, unfortunately. Let's see if we get the break this time. See if this thing gets some legs on it. This could be a move here. Pops through. Good volume. We just got a little spike in volume. So I'm looking for a break of this upside resistance. I think if we get through that area there, then we do have some room. We could be off to the races. Dow is up. S&P is up. Russell's up. Everything is green. Everything is to the upside right now. Here goes gold on the signal B. Gold on the signal B. That thing could push higher. I'm going to put on a gold signal B. Oh. See if we can get into this position here. I might be a little late. In fact, I'm going to tell Kush right now, Rao. I know it's important to you, and I'm going to tell him now.
Order submitted.
Keep an eye on gold here. We're long crude as well. Let's bring crude onto the picture here. Okay. Some pretty decent volume on gold. Gold is getting about just under 700 contracts a minute. We're still trying to push through this upside resistance on the NASDAQ. Oh my goodness. I had some friends, it was a mini season, lobster mini season down here, and they just loaded up on lobster. Florida lobster has no claws. Let's see if we can get this break. Signal B. My signal B is on. Signal B drone. We get this break, we're going to be in this position to the long side. My signal B has been very slow today. It's here we go. Come on. Let's get this push up. They must have got 25-30 lobster. The problem with going for lobster is you got to get in the water with a bunch of sharks. You know, as traders, we're kind of in the market with a bunch of sharks, but this is literal. You're swimming in the water with a hungry, man-eating, dangerous carnivore. Rao, I just sent him the message. Judge dismissed Trump's documents case. I just got a news alert. Oh yeah, I looked at the stock market. Everything is headed up on the stock market. All the indexes. The market is in great anticipation of Jerome Powell giving an indication that they're going to cut interest rates. If he gives any type of indication that there will be a rate cut, we might see a blast off. And vice versa, if no rate cut. Oh, that gold. What a long entry. Oh, my goodness. What I'm looking at is this gold chart. The gear gets locked. It has some resistance. Then it breaks through the resistance. The MACD crossed, and it's still headed up.
Order submitted.
Every strategy on crude went long.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
Here's a spike in volume. We're going for this signal B on the NASDAQ. We need this break. It didn't really break it.
Order submitted.
Here we go. Come on now. Let's get this push up. Need it to pop. Come on. Pop to the upside. Let's go. Nope. Almost. Got some serious buying pressure there. When it goes, it might be a pop. A burst to the upside. David Wise calls it, what does he call it? The volatility, the volatility crush. The break. Wow, you're a trip. One of his strategies. Here we go. Let's go. Come on now. Let's get some follow through. Look at this thing. Came right back at us. We got a poke right in the eye on this trade. Come on now. Don't do that to us. Don't do that to us. I want to give it more room. Let's hang in there. Come on now. Give me some wiggle room. Give me some breathing room. push. Come on. Why this thing? Crude's pushing up. Every single one of our crude strategies jumped in long on that move. Come on, NASDAQ, give me a break. Give us a break one time. CLODP's in, that's right. We're right in the 11 o'clock window. Let's take a look. CLODP. Let's do it. ODP. Almost in our profit window. The ODP on crude comes in at 11. The data shows that that is our window. Biggest window of opportunity on crude is 11 to 11:30. Come on, NASDAQ. ODP. Come on, baby. Push it up. Let's get something going here. There we go. Come on, push up. Moshe, I'll show you. What you would do is, the way you would do it is you would go to your control center and click on the strategies tab. And you would disable, if you're in an open position on the ODP, you would have to close it. If it's in a position on the one that you want to get into. So you would first close the position if it's in one. Then the next step would be to disable your strategy. Then you would right-click your strategy and select Edit Strategy. And it's going to open up, and you would scroll down to where your account is. And you would, in the drop-down, put in the account that you want to, the Apex account or whichever account it is you want to trade it. Click. Make sure then you're in the right instrument. Sometimes Ninja will change the instrument on you. Make sure you're in the right instrument. And then click OK and enable it. ODP is in full effect on the crude oil. Let's see if we can get this pushed to the upside a little higher. Almost hit into our profit window. Listen, even if you close the position at 1300, you got yourself a good trade. There's always, well, if you're in, you're in. Let her ride. You could squeeze your stop, let's say that. You certainly don't want it to come all the way back on you now. Come on now, NASDAQ's trying to help us. We got some room here. I don't see any upside support or resistance. Let's take a look at the 2-minute. Let's take a quick look. Yeah, the 2-minute's running. The 2-minute is headed to the moon. Not the 30 range. Come on. Oh no, we're in this sideways pattern. Very tempted to give it more room, but it's on my PA account. I really don't want to risk much with Jerome Powell about to speak and the market being so choppy. I'm not going to give it more room. What I'll do tomorrow is I'll put up a kind of a timestamp notepad that tells us what time each one of these ODPs triggers, and we'll keep an eye on the ODPs throughout the week. We're getting dangerously close here. There's just no follow through on this NASDAQ trade, unfortunately. It's not over till the fat lady sings, but she's getting on stage now. Listen, that ODP's fighting for it. That ODP is in the game. Come on, ODP. Here we go. We're at 2,000. We're almost in our profit window now. Another tick or two. We're in our profit window on this crude trade. We're very close to it. Oh, should have been in it. We're in it. Okay, let's go. ODP. Let's get it. Let's get it. Oh. Our NASDAQ trade's getting some legs. Here we go. Here we go. I'm going to bring it up a little bit. Push up. Come on, NASDAQ. So our ODP got into the profit window and it stopped out, but we made 2,000 on the trade. So if you did trade that in an eval, you'd be in a really good position right now. $1,000 away from passing. We found ourselves in a nice trade here, and I do have it on my trade copier. So I'm looking for this to go to the moon here. I got it on 2 PA accounts. I'm going to squeeze it just a little bit. Maybe more than just a little. Come on, push up now. Oh. Uh,
Order submitted.
all right, I'll take it. So I got 375 and 310 on those two PA accounts. Being really conservative because of the Jerome Powell thing, it's kind of scared me, and I wanted to get one on the board. But, you know, this thing could continue to run. I'm not a very good trader, and usually when I get in the system's way, I sabotage my results. So this trade does have the potential to keep going. Pete Fusco once told me it's better to get a half a loaf than a poke in the eye, and I didn't want to get a poke in the eye. So across two PA accounts, I did make about 375 on one, 310 on another, a total of 685 on that trade. So try to trade those PA accounts really conservatively. And there it goes, and it's pushing up. Now to see that same exact trade, we might still be in it on the bot. Yeah. So this is the trade here without touching it. This kind of gives you the shoulda, coulda, woulda look when you don't play with the stops and profit targets. It has a 50-tick trailer, so it could potentially come back $250 on us. The way this trade is designed, this strategy, this trade management, is it gives it room with a 50-tick trailer. It's a 200-tick profit target, which is very ambitious. Now, the drone could have told the bot to pull it in, which it probably did. But once we get within 10 or 15 ticks of our profit target, what's going to happen is that stop is going to change from a 50-tick trailing stop to about a 15-tick trailing stop, and it's going to lock in a bunch of profits. I have a really bad habit of squeezing my stops. But I'm kind of happy with a $300 or $400 profit for this session. Hindsight's always 50-50. 20/20, excuse me. Our 2-minute is really headed to the moon on this. Thank you, Brandon. You know, you learn the hard way, Brandon. That's how we learn. Oh. Gold. You're not going to believe this, Rao. I just turned off my copier and gold jumped into the trade. Unbelievable. Which one was it? Yeah, the Signal B drone. Huh. GC15, right? Signal B AI drone. Still, boy, this trade's going to go all the way. Man, look at that beautiful NASDAQ trade that I messed up. Oh, my goodness. Why do I do this to myself? The system nailed it. Look at that. Fully automated. Emotion free. Look at this. Now we're looking for it to come up into our profit window. Once it gets in that profit window, you could light up a cigar. Oh, it had all that all that buying pressure right through this pivot, and a bunch of volatility in consolidation, and boom, it popped right out. I knew it was coming. Gave us a heart attack before we got there, though.
Order submitted.
Crude's back in. 1 day pass. Here we go. ODP back in effect the other way. Counter trend. Now, if you got that first trade, you're up 2,000. You can move your profit target way up here. You wouldn't go for another 30 tick trade. Look at that. Look at that 30 range trade. You can see my 2 minute is off to the races. Let's see if we can make it into our profit window. Here we go. Here we go. This is a 200 tick profit target, just about. And this is why we call this strategy the haymaker. One good trade. This is on one contract on the NASDAQ. And one good trade, and it'll knock you right out and put you on the sidelines with a fat paycheck. You could take all the risk off and take a break. Let's go. You know, I always like to look at my entries. What were the circumstances? Well, the circumstances were we have a green 15 and a green 50. Our 2 minute chart lined up to the upside. How many times have we seen it? That's when we get these big trades. Market structure wise, we're lined up on the 30 range and the 2 minute. Our 15 is above our 50. They're both green on a long trade on this 30 range. We're very close to our profit window. It would almost be painful to not get in now. Here we go. Now it's going to pop in. Oh, it's just a tick or two away, I'll tell you. Oh! Emotion-free trading. I don't know many people that could have. Mark Miller. Mark is he's really good at not touching his stop. Sometimes I'll watch him trade and I'll be like, "Move your stop, please." I saw Rao one day. One session was watching him, and he said, "Sir, your stop. Come on now, get us in that profit window." Oh, it's not going to go in a profit window. Something's wrong with my settings. Wow. I must have a really tight profit window. I need to loosen it up some, huh? My goodness. See, now we're risking way too much for very little reward. There's really no reason for it. So what I would do is immediately check my setting on my profit window. Once you're that close to your profit, you don't want to give back more than you could potentially gain on the trade. It makes no sense. And that's what our profit window is designed to do. So right after this trade closes, we'll just see what it was on this Signal B bot. And I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Order submitted.
Boom. Crude oil just nailed it. It hit our profit target of 3,000 on the one-day pass, and it closed the position. I'm just in amazement that this didn't go into our window. One of my settings is off. Oh, wow, Dan. Are you still in the position? If you are, man, you're a much better trader than I'll ever be. This is in a really oversold environment now. Yes, Dan. Moshe, your Signal B didn't trigger? I'm going to immediately, we're going to check that profit window because something is dead wrong. You could see right here on this wick. All right, let's take a look and see. That was the Signal B bot. So I'm going to go to my strategies, and I'm going to find that Signal B bot.
Order submitted.
Signal A, Signal B bot. And I'm going to disable it. And I would select Edit. Now listen, it's setting up again for a Signal A to the long side. So that Signal A now, when this Laguerre pops out, and if it makes another run to the upside, you could start running up the score with this in these type of conditions. So let's look at the profit window. My profit window, is at 40. It's much too loose. That's why. So I want to put that at I'm going to put it at 20. 40 is a little too loose for the window. Oop. You see what happened? It went to crude oil. You always got to be really careful with the instrument. Ninja has some type of glitch that it'll change on you. If you edit something, now do we go? You know what? The 2 minute went. Let's switch positions here on this. Let's put our retirement plan back up. Let's pull this one back down. I personally like the NASDAQ 30 range Signal A. So I'm going to go back to my trade copier, and I'm going to try a different PA account, number 6. I'm going to go to the NASDAQ 30 range Signal A and make it my leader. And then I'm going to put it in my number 6 PA account. And sometimes it'll stutter step here. Oh, here we go. Listen, this 2 minute retirement plan that takes reversals, I talked about it in my webinar on Saturday, excuse me. It's been red hot on my computer. Here we go with the 2 minute. Getting a Good retracement back down to the 50. We were way overbought. Here we go. This 2 minute. We give these a lot of room. These reversals. These are not small targets. So you can see the system is starting to gain some traction now, starting to get some a good variety of strategies in the green. The CL 1 day pass, that's been one of our favorites. The haymaker, the retirement plan, is on the board. The Dow, gold, crude oil, a really good diversity. It was hard to pick a bad instrument. On a day that Jerome Powell is getting ready to talk at 12, that's a real testament to the system. Our 30 range is probably flying to the downside now. There we go. We're in our profit window. In our profit window here, this is where you could take a deep breath and exhale. Because you're going to win. It's just a matter of how much you're going to win. Is it going to be 500 or 600 or 1,000? Here we go. Bam! 900. One and done on the retirement plan. Gotta love it. Caught that beautiful reversal. And it, man, price was probably a good standard deviation above the mean. And it reversed and caught that profit target at 180 ticks. No problemo. Now we have a conflict now. You can see now we're lined up for the 30 range short. But on the 2 minute, we could very easily get a bounce to the upside. So that's why I like to see both of these in agreement. The 2 minute, not so much. The 2 minutes looking for a reversal, so they're not going to be in agreement. But the 30 range, I want it to be aligned with the 2 minute. What I mean by aligned is I'm looking at market structure of my two moving averages. My 15 is this dotted line, that's this red dotted line on this chart, and the 50, which is my solid line. I don't want my 50 to be green up here and red down here. In order for me to take a short on my signal B, ideally, I'd like my 2 minute to also be in a confirmed trend to the downside. Those are the ones that I have the most success with.
Order submitted.
Yeah, my data at the beginning of the session was I had a lag in my data. I went to my continuum data by default. It didn't connect to my rhythmic last night, yesterday. It turned out that the continuum was my primary feed. So it kind of threw me off this morning, and I apologize for that. That's my error. Now listen, a retirement plan, signal A on the retirement plan back long is a really good entry right now. There's a good chance this 2 minute goes long. If it continues up.
Order
Here, I just heard the signal A go. Let's take a look at it. This is our haymaker. Jump back in short.
Order submitted.
A beauty. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Nice and tight to that 50. And that thing's got some legs. Here we go. Nice volume. You see volumes cranking up. Trying to get into our profit window here at 15 ticks. Giving us the old sidestep. Okay, very nice. So the haymaker on the board. So our NASDAQ strategies have come to life in a very quickly. It doesn't take them long to come right up to the top of the leaderboard. You could see now on my leaderboard what these NASDAQs are capable of. All of the 2-minute strategies, those are the retirement plans. The 30 ranges, those are our haymaker strategy, both A and B. Lit it up. The YM did nicely. Crude oil, everything on the board today. So really a great day trading on a day that it started out and I thought we were in the twilight zone. Moshi, let's get together after lunch. I know you just started, and I'd like to go over the platform with you and answer all of your questions. The first day that you run it, I think it's important to know, we have an AI integration that takes some data to accumulate before it starts working 100%. So if things didn't look exactly the same, it's normal. It takes a few days to accumulate that data. And once the AI model kicks in, it'll start adjusting your stop and your profit targets and doing its thing. Yeah, Vince, for sure. I saw your message. Man, you're right there in Philadelphia, too. You weren't at that rally this weekend, were you, Vincent? Thank you, Marcia. One of the charts that are in the default. Let me see if I have one open. Excuse me. I should have one open here somewhere. For the webinar, I think that's the one actually that I closed. All right, let's take a look at a chart real quick, and then we're going to call it a day for lunch. But the NASDAQ, if I go to my NASDAQ, and I'm going to build a chart, I'm going to put my data series on the NASDAQ. let me start over. On my control center, I'm going to go to New Chart, and in my data series, I'm going to load the NASDAQ. On the top right, where my templates are, I'm going to load the 30 range. I'm going to do it on one that doesn't have an image. In my data series, I'm going to change it from data range and put a value of 30. And then I'm going to click OK. And this is what will come up. And these are the executions that my 30 range signal B took. Just jumped in again. And it's right back in. Now these strategies all have a profit target, and once you're every trader has their own profit goals and risk tolerance. Me, when I get multiple accounts up over $300 or $400, I call it a day, and I try to do the same thing tomorrow. But this is the chart. Very similar to what you should see, Moshi. Your oscillator might have the fractal energy lines. I changed mine, and I'll do that for you if you would like. The reason I change it, the trigger on our trades is looking at this Laguerre line, along with a few other conditions, but the main trigger is the Laguerre line on the A and B. And you can see the beautiful trades, the bias when your background color of your chart is green. That's telling you on higher time frames that your trend is also trending to the upside. That's what our software defines as a lower risk trade. We want a multi-time frame alignment of trend, and that's what that green is on your chart. But I'll be happy to go over the whole platform and all of the indicators with you. I'm just going to take a break for lunch. So really, an incredible day. Can't say enough about this system. My confidence, grows on and on. Each day, it's getting these additional tools with adding a trade copier and having issues with data. Those are all other issues that we always have to deal with, regardless. And once we get by those, and this system starts running optimally, there's very little that holds it back. It does extremely well, and today was no exception. So I want to thank everybody for your time. And if you let me know, Moshi, what time you're available. Cool. Raul got 2,500 more in gold. Our haymaker jumped back in. Last trade. We got another short roll here, flying to the downside. When this strategy gets hot, I'm telling you, I've seen it go to 2,000 in 2 trades like it's nothing. Congratulations, Raul. Gold made a beautiful push up here during this session. Jerome Powell is getting ready to talk at 12. Yeah, that crude oil ODP We time optimized it right for 11. The data supported it. We changed our trading hours, and today it paid off. So it automatically closed that second trade. That short trade that crude oil took on the one-day pass, once it reached to $3,000, plus we factor in commissions, once it hit 3,090, it closed out. Oh, Ethan! Yes, man, that's great news. I didn't even look. Let's see if I have it. The NQPA account. Wow, look at this haymaker strategy. This thing is starting to really catch on right now. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put our office phone number. If anybody here wants to give me a call afterwards, if you have any questions about this AI auto trader, here's the office number. It's 786-732. I'm going to take a quick lunch break. Give me about 30 minutes. Give me a call here at the office. We ran a sale over the weekend. Bam! Look at that. A beautiful short entry, tight to the 50. Bam! Straight down. Market structure-wise, that's how we want them. 15 below the 50, 50 red. Very tight, and bam. It's just like a picture-perfect trade. You're right, Isaiah. All right, everybody. Let's go. Let's take a look again at our leaderboard one last time. Just a great session. For the AI auto trader. Really, the NASDAQ just really shined towards the end, caught on fire. I was able to make my PA accounts around $700, $750, and I'm doing really well on those, consistent. Really happy with the way the system's trading. We're still in an unrealized trade on this 30 range on the Signal B drone. Remember, the drone has very ambitious profit targets. You know, this thing goes for the very ambitious targets. It's telling the bot what the range of the market is, and it just keeps optimizing itself throughout the trading system. So this is our drone pulling up the rear on this short position, and that one is set at 200 ticks. And bam, it just hit it. So what a day. Have a great day, Dr. Hansen. God bless everyone. I hope you have a blessed rest of your day. God willing, I'll be back tomorrow, and let's try to do it again. Have a great day, everybody. God bless. Bye-bye.